Part 176. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Luke Hixie. Chapter 1751. Chapter 1751. Huo Yangzi's leg was broken. Huo Yangzi believed Nangongyu's words and indeed came out of Nangong's house lamely. Gong Qinli said, "I'm sorry, I accidentally missed and hit me hard." Gong Qinli doesn't like to talk about those docile truths. She just can't let her daughter suffer in vain. However, seeing that young man Huo Yangzi remained silent even after being beaten, I felt better, and finally let Nangongyu go. "Lu Li, did you agree just now?" "Bah, I'm just out of sight." "Okay, it's okay, I'll look over there." Nangong Luo knew that his wife was telling the truth again. A man like Huo Yangzi is arrogant and can endure Gong Qinli's beating, which is considered to have backbone. Furthermore, as a man, he could see the details of Huo Yangzi's behavior towards her daughter, and there was love in his eyes. Nangongyu helped Huo Yangzi back to the apartment, feeling extremely distressed. Hurrying to find ointment to apply on him. "I'm sorry, I didn't know mommy would be like this." She thought Gong Qinli was just going to give Huo Yangzi a lesson orally, but she didn't expect to just hit her with a stick. Her mother is a practicing practitioner, so the blow with the stick is quite strong. "It's okay, I can still bear this minor injury." "You're all green. Do you want to go to the hospital for a checkup? If the injury is serious, just go to the hospital, no need." Huo Yangzi was lying on the bed, feeling very happy when she saw Nangongyu looking worried about him. In fact, the stick that Gong Qinli hit did make him kneel on the ground with weak legs, but he had such a reaction because the position of the blow was very clever. As for this leg, the pain is painful, but not as serious as Nangongyu imagined. However, the bitter meat scheme does not have to be in vain, he must take advantage of this injury to seek some benefits. Ouch! What happened? Nangongyu was looking at him with a worried face. At this time, he was the only one in his eyes and heart. Huo Yangzi almost looked at her in trance. Nangongyu mistakenly thought that he was in pain and was embarrassed to express it, so he subconsciously clenched his hand and leaned towards the head of the bed. "If you still feel pain, tell me, don't hold it in. Come a little further." "Good." She approached him without warning, but he suddenly pulled her down and stole a sweet kiss. "You are not serious even when you are injured. What I'm doing now is serious business." "Huo Yangzi, stop talking." Nangongyu didn't know why this man looked calm every time he talked about those things. Obviously these were embarrassing things. "Okay, don't talk about it now, let's talk about it tonight. If you keep doing this, I'll ignore you." Nangongyu was so amused by him that his cheeks turned red with embarrassment. Although many unexpected things happened, the relationship between the two of them took a big step forward. However, good things never go out and bad things spread thousands of miles away. The news that Huo Yangzi's leg was broken at Nangong's house quickly spread to Mr. Huo's ears. Mr. Huo, who was far away from home, immediately came to S City. Hurrying to Huo Yangzi's villa but seeing no one, he learned from Hian that the couple were in the apartment at the moment. When Mr. Huo came to the door, Nangongyu was stunned for a moment. Ever since this kind old man showed his powerful methods in front of her last time, she has been alienated from Mr. Huo. However, following politeness, she still shouted, "Grandpa Huo." Then he invited the old man into the house. Mr. Huo looked a little unkind. "Where is Yangzi?" End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Luke Hixie. Chapter 1752. Chapter 1752. Yeching Feng is Huo Yangzi's nightmare. "Yangzi is in the room, I will take you there." When Mr. Huo first heard what Nangongyu called his grandson, he glanced at her meaningfully. In fact, the old man still felt a little guilty for this little girl, but no matter how great his guilt was, it couldn't compare to his feelings for his grandson. If the Nangong family really bullied his grandson, he would not care about it. However, when Mr. Huo came in and saw his grandson sitting leisurely on the bed with a small table in front of him with fruits and other things on it, he didn't know what to say. Have never seen the side of my grandson. Yangzi. Old man, why are you here? I heard that you, something happened at Nangong's house. He said directly that it was embarrassing to have his legs broken. Hey, who comes to your old man again to gossip? Huo Yangzi pushed the table in front of her, got out of bed and stood in front of Mr. Huo. Where is the broken leg? Isn't this a good thing? Mr. Huo immediately understood that he had been deceived by Zhong Siyu. However, Mr. Huo finally breathed a sigh of relief when he saw that his grandson was intact. It's good that you're fine. Huo Yangzi nodded. He glanced behind him twice, but when he didn't see Nangong Yu's figure, he asked, where is my wife? She said to go downstairs and prepare some tea. Old man, you will enslave my wife as soon as you come. The grandchildren were used to the call and didn't care about those. There is one thing that worries Mr. Huo. I heard her call you Yangzi just now, and you called her directly. How are you two doing now? As you have always seen, the family is happy and the couple is happy. Really, it's not just a show to fool an old man like him, right? Hey, this is still fake. You have bright eyes, but you still can't see it? That's true. As he spoke, Nangong Yu came in with a new fruit plate and warm tea. Seeing that Mr. Huo was still standing there, she couldn't help but give Huo Yangzi a scolding look, and then said to Mr. Huo, please sit down. You girl, thank you for your hard work. It's okay, it should be. The visitor is a guest, but she still knows how to treat guests. Mr. Huo looked at Nangong Yu's gentle look and felt even more ashamed when he thought of the things he had done before. You girl, what happened before is because I can't help you, old man. Well. Nangong Yu didn't expect that Mr. Huo would mention that matter at this time, but she was smart enough not to hold back, so she responded tactfully, what did Grandpa Huo say? You or may have forgotten it. Huo Yangzi listened for a long time, but didn't understand. What riddles are you two playing? Nangong Yu smiled and said nothing, walked up to him and stuffed an apple into his mouth. Mr. Huo finally felt relieved when he saw the interaction between the two. He made an excuse and left after a while. He knows how to leave space for young people. As for the development of those two young people, it is not something he should worry about. Fortunately, his enthusiastic decision at that time was not wrong. In any case, this marriage is finally done. With Nangong Yu personally taking care of her for the past 2 days, Huo Yangzi was almost as if he was living in a dream. However, 2 days after the good days, his nightmare came again. The night breeze. The amazing man who made Huo Yangzi explode when he heard his name. What did he say? Brother Qingfeng asked us to go to Yejia to get together in case he comes back. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 1753. Chapter 1753, Locking the CP of the Childhood Sweethearts. This is the first time that Nangong Yu brings Huo Yangzi into their family circle. Huo Yangzi also knew for the first time that the relationship in the previous life could really last for a long time. He discovered that the relationship between the Ye family, the Nangong family, and the Bei family was as close as one family. Elders have different temperaments. Ye is only gentle, Yezikan is calm. The 3 brothers and sisters of the Ye family all have good tempers. Gongqinli is better able to play with younger people, and Nangong Luo also feels a little unreliable. I really don't know how they raised Nangong Yu to be such a gentle person. Bei is flammable and explosive, while Yuan Ran has an indifferent temperament, but he is not pretending to be aloof. Their daughter Beijiyu was very delicate, but was well protected by Ye Qingfeng. Hiruo, long time no see. The protagonist tonight should be Hiruo. Nangong Yu stepped forward and gave her a big hug. 28-year-old Hiruo is more charming than ever. She is not as gentle as Nangong Yu, and not as well behaved as Mo Xiongnuan, but she is a magnanimous and sensible person. There were so many people that Hiruo greeted them one by one. When everyone asked about her current situation, Hiruo responded, "The laboratory has just completed a research project recently." Perhaps not everyone can understand the professional terminology she talks about, but it contains a message: busy. Seeing that several other children were in pairs, and now only Hiruo was left unaccounted for, the adults were really worried. Although they all believe that time will allow you to meet the most suitable person, Hiruo is already 28 and will soon turn 29, so they still tactfully urge her. However, Hiruo has always refused without hesitation regarding this issue. She refuses anyone to introduce her to a boyfriend and rejects any form of blind date because she has been doing scientific research abroad all year round, and she doesn't care about the mountains and rivers. Finally escaped from the claws of the adults, and several young people gathered in the courtyard. Han Chi is teaching Mo Xiongnuan how to play games. These two people are still very naive despite their age. Mo Xiongnuan, follow me, and I'll steal your head. Woo, I'm dead again. Don't rush forward, I'll protect you. Beijiyu held her tablet and watched the video. Forget about watching the video, the key was that she was still sitting on Ye Qingfeng's lap. Brother Qingfeng, this love episode is too sweet, I want to lock up the CP of this pair of childhood sweethearts. You are sweeter than them. Ha ha ha, it's true, Miju. As he spoke, he turned his head and kissed him on the cheek. As for Huo Yangzi said that she is very depressed now. Others were couples showing off their affection, but when it was his turn, his gentle and considerate wife chatted with the little sisters, completely leaving him aside. Ah! Why? He also wants to show affection. He is also the only one here who has received a certificate and can legally show affection. Did you stay too long when you came back this time? If mommy, daddy, and godfather don't talk about my boyfriend in my ears, I can always stay at home. Really, don't you plan to leave when you come back this time? Well, I have applied to the medical school here. If nothing else, the appointment letter will be issued soon. Great, then we can see each other more often in the future. Well, it doesn't matter whether we meet or not, the main thing is the one in your family. Hiruo glanced at Huo Yangzi pointedly, look, she is almost like a wife. Sisters Hiruo, please don't make fun of us. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 1754. Chapter 1754 Hiruo's Secret. After the lively family banquet ended, everyone left one after another. The Ye family and his wife left the house, leaving only two sisters, Hiruo and Mo Xiongnuan. The two sisters were very close to each other and slept in the same bed at night. Actually, Mo Xiongnuan knew Hiruo's secret. 1. Hiruo has hidden a secret for nearly 10 years. The two sisters lay in bed and talked about it all night. Mo Xiongnuan spoke first, sister, don't you really think about trying to accept others? What's there to think about, I'm living well alone now. But you still have a long future if you don't have anyone to accompany you, how lonely you will be for the rest of your life. A faint smile from Hiruo came to my ears. Xiaonuanuan, did you even give me chicken soup for the soul? Didn't you and Han Chi get back together not long ago? Yes, you see we all have a choice, you are the only one left. Then let me ask you, after so many years since you broke up with Han Chi, have you ever thought about finding another boyfriend? Mo Xiongnuan hesitated for a moment, then answered honestly, I heard a few of them from mommy's words. That's because you're too obedient. It doesn't mean you really want to find a partner, right? It's irrefutable, because what Yasuhiro said is the truth. After she broke up with Hanchi, she was sad for a long time. Later, when others introduced her to boyfriends, she met a few of them, but she always made it clear at the first meeting. Even if someone pursued her, she would. The reason for rejecting someone is very clear: you are a good person, but we are not suitable. Yasuhiro patted her shoulder. They say, don't meet someone who is too stunning when you are young, otherwise you will miss your life. I don't know whether you are lucky or not. I met that person early and lost everything. The heart will never be recovered. Mo Xiongnuan stumbled, but still asked what was in his heart. But that person has been missing for so long. What if he is no longer alive? After a long time, I heard Yasuhiro's solemn reply, but I will keep waiting. This sentence was too heavy. I don't know if it was meant for Mo Xiongnuan or herself. That's right, Yasuhiro has a secret, and only Mo Xiongnuan in this family knows it. Yasuhiro went abroad after graduating from college, but in fact, she was not in the laboratory for a long time. She met someone who amazed her and experienced an unforgettable love. But just when she thought happiness was about to come, an accident happened. The man is missing. Everyone said he was dead, but no body was seen. Yasuhiro didn't believe it. She has been waiting year after year, from the best age to now, and she has no intention of giving up. If Yeji didn't tell her family about this, she didn't want everyone to trouble her in vain. She herself likes being single, which sounds much better than waiting for a man whose life or death is unknown. So, Nuanuan, you must always hide my secret and don't let them know. If asked, why do you still like that person after so many years? Yasuhiro's only answer is, probably because, I will never meet anyone better than Yan Zibai in Yasuhiro's world. The author has something to say. Yasuhiro's story will not be unfolded in this book, but her story will be written in Little Cutie, You Are Arrested. The author has something to say. Yasuhiro's story will not be unfolded in this book, but her story will be written in Little Cutie, You Are Arrested. This book will be completed on National Day. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lou Kixie. Chapter 1755. Chapter 1755. I'm pregnant. 1 year later. I have an appointment with a business partner tonight to discuss business. He may come back later, so you don't have to wait for me for dinner. Cooperators, male or female? Male. Oh, I see. A year ago, the marriage of Nangongyu and Huo Yangzi caused a stir in the business world, but after this year, they proved to everyone in the outside world that their union was because of love. Huo Yangzi still frequently makes headlines in the business and entertainment circles as before. The difference is that the female companion next to him is always the same person, and that is his wife Nangongyu. After a year of getting along, Huo Yangzi, who had an explosive temper, has been submissive to the docile Nangongyuji. Mainly because Nangongyu has mastered all of Huo Yangzi's habits, bad temper, and weaknesses, and knows how to make him obedient. This year, Huo Yangzi has been subtly trained by Nangongyu to become a good husband with 24 filial piety. But one thing, Huo Yangzi not only has not changed, but has even increased day by day, that is, jealousy. It's like, I called him during the day and told him that I was going to have dinner with a partner in the evening. I acted reasonable and indifferent on the phone, but now. What's going on with those two bodyguards in suits standing next to you? It seems that you and Mr. Huo are indeed as per the rumors. What do they preach? Say you love each other. The partner was reasonable and didn't mind. In the end, he wished them happiness. Thank you. Nangongyu smiled slightly after hearing this. Back home, I saw Huo Yangzi sitting in the living room reading the newspaper. Wife, are you back? Listen, these modal particles are coming out. Thank you for your hard work, my wife. Huo Yangzi seemed to be deliberately trying to please her. While sleeping, he wanted to get close to someone, but as soon as he hugged someone, he was pushed away. Nangongyu slowly opened his fingers and refused his intimacy. Huo Yangzi consciously apologized, honey, I was wrong. What's wrong? Wife, you think I'm wrong wherever you go. What Huo Yangzi was thinking was, I don't know what's wrong. Anyway, it's my fault that you're angry. Just apologize. But Nangongyu is not easy to deal with. He was unwilling to admit it, so she took the initiative to point it out. What happened tonight? What happened tonight was my fault. What about next time? I'll dare next time. Nangongyu picked up the pillow on the bed and stuffed it into his hand. Huo Yangzi refused to give up and planned to use the beauty trick. But Nangongyu refused to forgive him today. Do not touch me. Xiao Yuer, Huo Yangzi coaxed her for a long time. Her patience was exhausted, and she was a little dissatisfied. It's not that he is dissatisfied with Nangongyu, but he hates seeing Nangongyu alienated from him because of other men. This is jealousy again. There was a brief silence between the two. After a while, Nangongyu asked, are you trying to hurt me? Humble Huo Yangzi bowed his head online, I don't dare. Originally, I planned to come back tonight to surprise Huo Yangzi, but I didn't expect that he would do something like that today, so I wanted to refresh his memory. After the training, it's time to get down to business. Well, I'm pregnant. Oh. Oh. The information was buffered in his mind. Huo Yangzi's expression was twisted and changeable. Finally, in disbelief, she cautiously asked, what did you just say? I'm pregnant. Nangongyu raised the corner of his mouth with a slight arc, and placed his palm gently against his belly. Huo Yangzi was so happy that she stayed up all night. The author has something to say. Mr. Huo is an idiot. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 1756. Chapter 1756 Finale, Jia Qingfeng. Bei Jiya's internship career is over. She finally graduated and obtained postgraduate qualifications with the best results. Bei is so happy to be a father. I thought that if my daughter continued to study, she would not have to worry about getting married. However, just the second week after her graduation, her family's household registration was stolen. The day after Beijia's household registration book disappeared, Beijia got 2 red books as she wished, one of which of course belonged to Ye Qingfeng. She was caught by her mother Yuan Ran when she wanted to secretly put her household registration book back. Beijia was at a loss and hid her household registration book behind her back. Yuan Ran deliberately talked nonsense with her, and in the end, he asked her to take out her household registration book. Mommy, you know. The day you got your diploma, you came to me and inquired about the location of your household registration book. I am your mother, how can I know what you think? Yuan Ran knew that her precious daughter had longed for Ye Qingfeng from the house next door for many years, and she wished she could become a legal couple as soon as possible. When are you going to confess this to everyone? Not for the time being, Mommy, you must keep it a secret for me. If Daddy finds out, I will be dead. Now you know you're afraid. I didn't see your hands shaking when I stole the household registration book. Actually, my hands were shaking and my legs were shaking. You are the only one who is poor-tongued. Yuan Ran smiled helplessly, took the household registration book and put it back to its original place, hiding the secret for her daughter for the time being. Originally I thought that everything was developing in the direction I wanted. Unexpectedly, someone revealed a photo of Ye Qingfeng in front of the Civil Affairs Bureau, holding a young girl beside him. In the photo, Ye Qingfeng only showed a little profile, but his group of fans with crazy good looks recognized him at a glance. I'd eat candies without gaining weight. Based on the fact that I have been a fan of Ye Dabos for 10 years, I can conclude that this divine profile must belong to him. I'd Coke without ice. I also saw it that day and thought I was dazzled. Only after seeing the photo did I become convinced that Ye Qingfeng was wearing this outfit that day. The friendly forces sent me up. The comments of several ids were liked and ranked at the top. In order to convince the public, we even found N photos for comparison and presented various evidences to prove that the person in front of the Civil Affairs Bureau was Ye Qingfeng. Since Ye Qingfeng went to the Civil Affairs Bureau, everyone who knows the little girl next to her knows who she is. At this time, the protagonist on the hot search is watching a romantic drama at home. Suddenly the phone vibrates non-stop. Shortly afterwards, she was bombarded by relatives and friends. Has anyone come to ask her if she is married? Some people directly send her exclusive red envelopes and shower blessings on the screen. Besides, Beiju, get back here. There is also her explosive biological father. This time it is true that he was furious with his precious daughter. Beye felt uncomfortable that the cabbage he had raised at home for so many years had been stolen. Beiju said this when she comforted him, "Dad, your daughter finally picked other people's cabbage, you should be happy." Kitano almost fainted in the toilet from crying. Beiju wanted to use this moment to tease Ye Qingfeng, but found that Ye Qingfeng's place was much cleaner. Apart from the money, there are basically no other messy problems. Beiju felt it was very unfair. Why do you receive all money and all I receive are all kinds of weird questions? It's so unfair. Ye Qingfeng rubbed her head, maybe it's because you are so cute. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 1757. Chapter 1757 Finale, Han Qi and Mo Xiangnuan. Compared with the other two couples who attracted attention with great vigor, Mo Xiangnuan and Han Qi are simply extremely low-key. When the parents of both parties were urging them to get married, the two of them held hands and played games, and their relationship became more and more childish. Although they were not in the same place when they first went to school, they developed a tacit understanding through the same music hobbies and exchanged feelings through the same games. These are unforgettable memories. The first time they fell in love, it was natural and they got together naturally. Later, Han Qi chose to stand on the stage and shine brightly, while Mo Xiangnuan settled for reality and wanted to live an ordinary and peaceful life. Originally, this was nothing, but as Han Qi became famous and outstanding, more and more people liked him. When faced with suitors, Han Qi would refuse without hesitation, but everyone has a different personality. Just like Han Qi, a music teacher's daughter stalked him and refused to listen to any explanations. She didn't even mind that he had already have a girlfriend. Han Qi has never had an affair with those women, but his long-distance relationship with Mo Xiangnuan is prone to problems. If someone stirs up trouble, it will lead to conflicts between the two, the kind of emotions that cannot be controlled by reason when they are young. Simply vulnerable. They are both extremely convinced that the other person really likes them. But once distance and many other real problems arise, the relationship between the two becomes cracked and irreparable, and it will become bigger and bigger. So, they broke up. After the breakup, I uninstalled the game tacitly. After breaking up, they deliberately avoided seeing each other. It turns out that the world is really big, and there are some people that you will never see again if you don't look for them deliberately. Only during occasional holidays, the two families would have polite exchanges. At that time, the two of them would feel awkward when they met, and they had a tacit understanding that no one would mention the past. In fact, Han Chi looked for Mo Xiongnuan during the trip, but when he saw Mo Xiongnuan being sent home by another man, he was so angry that he flew away overnight. Mo Xiongnuan also called Han Chi, and a woman answered the phone. At that time, she suddenly lost confidence in herself and had no courage to save her. It took several years of stumbling. Han Chi didn't expect that he would follow Nangongyu back to S city that day, and couldn't help but look for Mo Xiongnuan. Mo Xiongnuan didn't expect that Han Chi would reappear on a peaceful night. After going around in circles for so long, it turns out that the most suitable person is always by my side. After Mo Xiongnuan and Han Chi reconciled, the two of them tacitly picked up the games they played back then and played them again. Their daily communication later became like this. Mo Xiongnuan, hurry up and get into the game, let me fly with you. Of course, sometimes there will be quarrels. Mo Xiongnuan learned a trick from somewhere and blocked him. Han Chi had to contact her on the game, can you pull me out of the dark room? Cannot. If you don't add me back, I won't play with you anymore. If I don't take it, I won't take it, someone will take me to play. Immediately afterwards I saw Mo Xiongnuan posting a message on the World Channel asking for a team, 2-player arena, team me up. Han Chi was so angry that he banged the table, wishing he had lost the game, and ran over to deal with the woman. But when he was banging the table, Mo Xiongnuan suddenly attacked him. Will you take me to the arena, boss? Bring. I usually don't bring other people's, because you are the one who brings them. Then, sir, can you give me your contact information? Mo Xiongnuan, please release me quickly. End of this chapter.